X-Verse Monthly, a show about the X-Men, the comics, the movies, the TV shows, but mostly the comics. I'm your host, Midgetradio, currently in recovery after this asshole, Tactic Angel, made me drink all this whiskey last night in a hazing ritual called the fucking Wednesday Night Gentleman podcast. Just an absolute prick. But holy shit, January. I counted them all up, and there were approximately 11,000 X-Men comics in the month of January. Who fucking says this industry is dying, right? So in light of this smorgasbord, we are skipping expectations this month and moving right the hell into reviews. All right, man. X-Men Gold 19 and 20, so we're wrapping up this arc with Goth, and we pick up where he's like reanimated this giant statue because he's got his nips all twisted up about being born a weird looking prick, and his mom abandoned him, and it's like, of course she would, because he blows ass. So this angry statue that's like a god, I guess, that Goth worships. I don't know. The statue is like tearing shit up Godzilla style, and the Gold Crew devised this plan to like attach Kitty to this giant sort of metal fishing line and like dive through the giant and hook his ass and then fly him via spaceship into a vortex in the middle of the negative zone, and just drop his ass inside. I mean, like, despite Guggenheim's, I think, somewhat generic writing and like, I mean, God, just some of the exchanges between Kitty and Colossus are just like, it's typical TV writer, goopy, sappy, trite, fucking CW, just fairy tale crap. I think he does at least have fun with Kitty's, phasing power from time to time, which I do entirely dig. And so it works, and the statue gets sucked into a void to shit knows where, but then their ship goes all to hell. And they crash land on some other stupid negative zone planet. So that brings us into 20. And this is like, it's kind of an odd way to wrap up an arc, I think. They crash land into fucking Sandstorm planet. And conveniently, Storm can't use her powers because of things. But at least we've got Ink here, thank God, to use his Deus Ex Machina tats to both heal Kurt from some damage that he had taken in the crash landing, and then telepathically locate and then fly out to find Kitty, Colossus, and Storm, who all got ejected from the ship as it was crashing into the surface, and he fucking rescues all of them. Thanks, Ink! Turns out all they need to get the ship running again is a battery, but it's like all out of juice. And since Ink somehow forgot to mention or to get the electricity tattoo, it's all on Storm's shoulders. But she like can't use her powers on this planet because whatever. And so I guess Logan decides that he just needs to give Storm a fucking old man pep talk to get her to use her powers, even though, she couldn't while she was fighting this sandworm like just minutes before this. But I guess since mutant powers are based on whether an old man is yelling at you, it works, and she powers up the battery and they all get back home. We get a scene like in the middle of this issue where Colossus is dying in Kitty's arms after they've crashed to the surface. And I don't know, like maybe he's weak to sand. I don't really understand why he's fucking dying. And of course he doesn't die. But this is what gets us to the last page of this issue where Kitty proposes marriage to Colossus. Yeah, a marriage proposal prompted by an intensely emotional experience involving the near death of a loved one. That's how fucking all great lifelong commitments start. I'm glad this arc is over, man. I love Kitty Pryde. Katherine fucking Pryde is a great character who I don't think is really being served all that well by Guggenheim's, what I feel are kind of like CW writing instincts. Like if you look back over these 20 issues, right, we've seen her relocate the mansion into the middle of Central Park, right? This grand gesture of putting the fucking Xavier mansion in the middle of Central Park of all places, which has turned out, I think, mostly to just be this huge financial drain. And then she gets in these one-sided soapbox debates with Lydia Nance, who's just bad. She's just bad. She's a bad old bigot, and that's all there is to her character. And they're just boring exchanges that have like all the fucking intellectual rigor of a Twitter exchange. And now she wants to marry Colossus, who, 20 issues ago, she had no interest in like rekindling this relationship. But now she wants to marry him because she saw him almost die. I mean, it's just, I feel like personally Guggenheim has forgotten the fact that Kitty is a genius, like a technical genius, and a tactically smart woman. But instead of that, he's giving us someone whose decision making has become more emotional, I think, and less thoughtful. And it's not great. It's not the worst. I mean, fuck, we have seen way worse characterizations, I think, of beloved X characters. But what's disappointing about this is that Kitty is and should be, I think, a great leader and visionary for the X-Men as a whole. But Guggenheim, I feel like, routinely sacrifices her character for these more emotional, kind of easy turns into fucking TV tropes. I think it feels like he's writing for a studio audience that's like instructed via prompter, to shed a tear while Kitty sees Colossus dying in her arms, and then clap and say "aw" when she proposes marriage. And yeah, the next arc of this has to do with the Brotherhood, which hopefully will be more fun. On with Gold Annual 1. X-Men Gold Annual number 1. And here is a fucking complete reversal. One, the cover, yes, an homage to the cover for Excalibur number 1. So, of course, I was totally immediately into it. And then I read the issue and remained entirely into it. It was a totally fun issue. And side note, if anyone knows where I can get Rachel's sweet Lila Cheney t-shirt, please do let me know. Captain Britain and Megan have a baby. That's the premise of this issue. So Captain Britain and Megan have a baby. So Kitty, Kurt, and Rachel go to England to visit. Brian and Megan, like that, it was always kind of a weird relationship, I feel like, and I'm not sure totally where it was left because I don't even remember the last time we saw them. But cool. Not sure how Kurt feels about it either, but all right. Also, the baby they had is a genius. It's weird. She talks like fucking Boss Baby, like that movie. I did not see that movie, but she talks like the trailer, I guess, for Boss Baby. But so Starhammer, good God, the Dabari hero from the Dabari race who were, annihilated when Dark Phoenix blew up their sun, which I'm sure we'll see in the upcoming X-Men Dark Phoenix film. Probably fucking not. But he's come back to exact revenge on Rachel. Not entirely the right target, but whatever, close enough, I guess. And it's like it's overall like a pretty goofy issue, and there are stupid, goofy exchanges between Starhammer and Excalibur. And Excalibur has always been like kind of a goofy book anyway. So it totally works as an homage, I think, to the original title. And it gets resolved basically with baby Braddock somehow figuring out how to use Starhammer's like dimensional fucking Roku remote. It looks like, and something, she finds like a dimension with a thriving Dabari interdimensional, or finds a dimension with a thriving Dabari civilization, to which he can take the surviving Dabari. No doubt they'll happily welcome all of those refugees. But good stuff. It's a really, really fun issue. There's a not bad, I think, kind of sappy backup story in this with a mom and a kid running around New York trying to meet Storm as she's, flying from crisis to crisis. This is the kid's like favorite superhero, whatever. And it's pretty sweet, whatever. But overall, like this was a super fun issue. I don't know. And Guggenheim wrote this one as well. So, nice work. All right. X-Men Blue 19 and 20. So our time displaced 05 have traveled back in time to their first fight with Magneto, X-Men number 1, I guess. And I totally enjoyed this. They get back there and they're watching themselves battle Magneto, and they notice like the dead bodies of the Brotherhood just strewn about the battlefield. Like Quicksilver's dead, Scarlet Witch is dead, and Magneto's still all like evil bad guy speechifying, but also kind of like, what the fuck, you guys are hardcore? Like, holy shit, you just murdered my entire fucking crew. Our O5 managed to get Magneto off the battlefield into some kind of like weird, I don't know, intertime dimension. I don't understand how this works, but and just before like the Alt O5 with Alt Xavier are about to kill Magneto for good. And we get the reveal here that the real Xavier or original Xavier has actually been captured by the fucking new Brotherhood or whatever they're called. But it's those guys, that future Brotherhood that was made up of Xavier's son and Zorn and Old Man Deadpool, Rays, God fucking Rays. But those dudes that we first saw in the Battle of the Atom crossover a couple years ago. So we move into issue 20, and of course, a big battle between the Brotherhood and the Blue Team. Jean rescues Xavier, and basically, like, past Xavier, I guess, has been somehow communicating telepathically and through the timeline with present day Magneto, and that's why Mags built that time platform. Basically, I guess, waiting for the O5 to use it to send them back to this particular moment. And apparently, I guess, along the way, meet up with the X-Men 2099 and Generation X, who join the O5 in the big climactic battle in this issue. So, of course, they manage to stop the Brotherhood, and I guess they get ejected back into the time stream where they had been hiding out for a while, the Brotherhood anyway. I don't really understand that part, but the end of this is fairly brutal because Mags ends up confronting the Brotherhood, somehow getting access to where they are in the time stream or whatever, and he tells them, like, he knows they're just gonna go back and try again to take over as the original X-Men, so he fucking wipes them out. I mean, that's, I believe, what we are led to believe at the end of this issue. That's what the last panel seems to indicate to me anyway. Just fucking does a straight up murder on them. And, I mean, no sad feelings about the loss of that future Brotherhood. So, I mean, I don't really think anyone was too high on them when they showed up in the first place. Fuck, Rays alone. Good God, no mourning there. But, I mean, pretty fun art, through and through, I gotta say. I mean, a little annoyed that this didn't lead to the O5 finally fucking returning to their time. But at least they do talk about that a little bit with past Xavier, and I mean, it's gonna fucking happen, right? Like, it's gonna happen. Yeah. And we got X-Men Blue Annual number 1 as well, which brings us part 1 of this upcoming crossover with Venom. So the premise is basically Corsair and the Starjammers get attacked and kidnapped by some alien dickheads wearing symbiotes. And I guess they're bounty hunters. They want to, like, sell the Starjammers, I guess, to the highest bidder or something. So of course Scott is like, hey man, that's my dad. Let's go fucking get him. And that's what they do. That Teen Cyclops solo series, by the way, where he went into space with Corsair and just kind of hung out and like had adventures. That was a fucking great series. Like, I totally strongly recommend picking that up. But they figure they will need Venom's help since he's a symbiote too. And, like all diplomatic approaches between superheroes, it turns into a fucking fight. But they managed to get him to come along. Or them, I don't know. Do I call Venom them? I think I call Venom them. Anyway, it's interesting because they find out that some poacher is poaching symbiotes on Symbiote Planet, which I thought would be like was supposed to be really fucking hard to do because symbiotes are like dicks, right? For as fucking crazy as a symbiote is, I don't know. And this issue like opens up with like what appears to be Mama Symbiote Goop and Daddy Symbiote Goop taking their fucking Goop children on a picnic or something. And this poacher like captures them to sell them. I think he shoots one in its head. I don't know. I don't know. Fucking comics. I'm reading about 4 piles of fucking goo going on a picnic. God damn it. I am an adult. Anyway, they track down and find the symbiote bounty hunter gang or something, and no doubt will resolve their differences with a handshake. I think this is supposed to be like a 5-part series or something. And now I have to pay attention to when Venom comics come out. It's fucking hard. It's hard to do. These are hard times, but whatever. I'm into it. Astonishing X-Men number 7. What the F with this book, right? So first this change from Del Mundo, I think, on art to Noto and like Phil Noto, and I like both of them, but the differences are kind of glaring and apparent. But also like besides from that, what the F? So Professor X is back, psychically rescued from the clutches of the Shadow King, and now occupying Phantom X's body. Okay. And everyone seems to be able to tell that like something's a little off with Xavier. So Betsy checks on Phantom X in the astral plane, and apparently like he's all good with the arrangement, I guess. And X, I guess as he's now known for fucking whatever reason, spends most of the issue astral projecting around town and giving away what he calls gifts. And one of them is he gives Warren the ability to control the Archangel persona. He cleans up the psychic mess that the Shadow King left behind and purges that from the city. Or like really what he does, he collects all that psychic energy and morphs it into this big green fucking ball in the sky. And so Bishop's looking at that and he checks with his end time database, as he always had this fucking thing. I don't remember it, but he references like green sun over London, and his little computer spits out that that's a sign of the impending mind killer apocalypse, whatever the hell that is. No doubt good news. So as X is about to send it into space or whatever, he notices something wrong. It explodes and out comes freaking Proteus. Good God, when is the last time we saw Proteus? I'm still really into this book. It's mostly the I don't know what the hell is going on with Xavier thing, but it's totally working for me. And Mind Killer Apocalypse, fucking sign me up. I'm down. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Weapon X number 13. This book is so much fun. It's great. I don't understand. I feel like people should like this book. It's just fun. So Sabretooth is busy blowing up this lab, and he's freed Nuke, while the rest of the Weapon X crew debate what to do after they rescued those mutants from the Nuke soldiers. So we learn that President Duarte has like kidnapped Nuke and made his own Nuke soldiers or something that also have flags tattooed on their faces, and who use the drugs, that Nuke uses to like amp up into all out badassery. And this fucking exchange between Nuke and this poor fucking rando Nuke soldier, where he's like, I was sent here to kill Duarte. He stole the pills, stole the flag. Take it off. I mean, what the fuck? That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. What a goddamn great line. I've never seen Nuke before, but Pac writes him as like a roided up Punisher. And what the fuck? What madman is not into that? So Nuke predictably loses his shit. And as Weapon X come back to the fight, he thinks they're trying to steal his fucking pills because he's a goddamn junkie. And rounds up the rest of these Nuke junkies, and we cliffhang on this all-out battle between Weapon X and the Nuke soldiers. I mean, what else is there to say? This book is completely ridiculous and over the top, and it's totally fun as hell. So buy it. Generation X number 86. Man, every time we talk about this book, I'm going to tell you what a sad ass travesty it is that it's ending. So Monet slash M-Plate or M-Plate possessed Monet has like unsynced the school from our dimension or something. And she's stalking the halls for fresh mutants. Jubilee tracks down Quentin and Krakoa, and in a pretty excellent little exchange that tugged at old Midgetradio's heartstrings just a bit. Whatever, I ain't fucking embarrassed. She gets Choir to come back to the school to help rescue it from Monet, and kind of has like this little heart-to-heart with him, telling him that, you know, he might actually feel like a fucking part of the family if he, you know, just let them be his family. I mean, this is X Comics, man. I fucking love it. So they get back to the school. We even get to see Paige shed some skin and get into the fisticuffs with Monet. But the big fucking moment here is Monet tries to murder Jubilee by stealing her little anti-vamp amulet thing that basically mitigates all the vamp shit, like allows her to fucking be outside the sun and, you know, not have to eat people, essentially. But so Monet rips that fucking amulet off and kicks her ass out the window into the sun, and Choir loses his shit, goes all out fucking Phoenix Flare, which apparently, holy shit, cures Jubilee. She's devamped and remutinized, complete with them fireworks or plasmoids for the more technical among us. Fuck yes, though. Fucking yes. Vamp Jubilee is dead. Long live Jubilee. Stellar fucking end to this issue. I don't know how many more issues we have left, but it's not fucking enough. Iceman number 9. So Bobby's moving to LA. And I kind of like that Kitty is a little pissed off about it. Because he's like moving to LA for a boy, which, I mean, that's what she accuses him of, even though he fucking denies that. But it's like, why else LA, right? Because this dude is there. That's fucking why. But whatever. So a little testy between Pride and Drake, and I dig it. Weirdly, Daken shows up again. I don't understand what's up with Daken and Bobby. I don't know if I'm missing something or what, but like, I don't know if Daken is like jealous or something, but so he's tricked the X-Men into going out to fight Purifiers, so that he can invade the mansion and attack Bobby and his new beau. And he's got that amp kid with him. Ugh. And so Daken has this apocalypse death seed in him. I don't fucking remember this, dude. I don't know what's up with Daken here, especially with seeing him in or working with Laura in against the O of X in All New Wolverine. But okay, so amps up Daken, which like invokes the fucking death seed and makes Daken go all Horseman of Apocalypse, where he then proceeds to gut Bobby's new boyfriend, and hijinks ensue, or mostly just fighting. But I mean, this is okay. I guess I just, it's weird because I don't really understand the whole Daken thing. I don't really understand what the fuck is motivating him here. But it's just throwing me off. And I know the book is wrapping soon, and this seems like kind of an odd arc to close it out on, but I'm along for the ride. I hope Bobby sticks around because fuck LA, right? Fuck LA. Phoenix Resurrection, goddamn 1 through 5, and then Jean Grey 11. Holy crap, that is 6 books. We are not going to go through each one. I mean, I think we all know how it ends, right? Suffice it to say, I did enjoy this miniseries and the conclusion. I kind of wish they wouldn't have made it weekly though, because it's told a little oddly, as we're introduced to Jean, who's a waitress at a local diner, and it's clearly some sort of like afterlife or manifestation of the White Hot Room or something. But it's pretty cool how it's presented with figures from her past. She's serving coffee to Magneto, dating a boy named Scott. Wolverine is fixing her fucking car. It's just like, it's fun. Meanwhile, the X-Men are investigating all of these weird happenings around the globe. They're all clearly Phoenix inspired, and then end up in the desert in front of this giant orb. I don't know. Maybe it's like a Phoenix egg. It's like a big giant fucking golden orb. I don't know. But they enter into it and into Jean's world and witness her confront the Phoenix for apparently the last time. But probably not. There's just an absolutely fantastic exchange in this miniseries. between Phoenix and Jean, where the Phoenix is trying to get Jean to play host again and offers to bring back all her loved ones. And that culminates in a scene between Jean and Scott. And I mean, it seems like the real Scott. Jean instantly knows what happened to him, that he got sick from the Mpox and died. And she's sorry that she wasn't around to protect him. And he's fucking sorry for everything, as you would expect from old Scott Summers. I love Jean's line here. We were better off dead. And she lets him go, tells the Phoenix to fuck off. It's got nothing to offer her. And the Phoenix dissipates, and we're left with a risen Jean Grey. Just, I really enjoyed it. So it more or less officially concludes with Jean Grey 11, our last issue of Jean Grey. And we follow Teen Jean's jaunt through, I don't know, maybe another white hot room manifestation, right? Because she fucking burned up into ash at the end of Jean Grey 10. And she's kind of thrown all over time. Like, she's in Rachel's future, she's in Inferno, but she has it out with Phoenix, and the Phoenix didn't really want her, but wanted, the original. So Teen Jean, after getting burned up in the previous issue, gets Phoenix under her control somehow, and is herself resurrected. And I like the end where she gets back home. She gets back to just back home and just blows everyone off, and hits the bed. But then her adult self barges in, asking to talk. It's good stuff. And I think overall a great return for Jean. I do kind of wish they just, savored it a little bit more. All 5 of these Phoenix Resurrection issues in one fucking month practically. It's just, it was told too quickly. But it was a good story. I just told too quickly, I think, especially for such an event. But anyway, good return for Jean, and looking forward to seeing her leading a team in X-Men Red. All new Wolverine 29 and also 30. Man, this Daken is way better than Iceman Daken. So Daken, Laura, and Gabby all sacrificed some piece of themselves to Muramasa, who's going to make something badass to fight the O of X with. I'm not quite sure how badass this thing is, though. It's a suit of armor for Laura. I don't know. It's a little weird looking. Anyway, apparently one of the O of X is a member of the Hand, and so they show up with the Hand outside Muramasa's abode, and obviously lots of fighting ensues. And this is why I like Daken. He takes Megan's cell phone, right? Laura's cousin takes her cell phone and cuts himself open and shoves the phone inside of his body, and then rushes out to attack the Hand, gets shot and captured, so that Laura and the rest can track him to the Hand HQ. Great shit, man. And I like the scene between Gorgon and Muramasa here. Gorgon shows up, has to apologize to Muramasa since they're a group of fucking hand ninjas attacking him without permission. And Gorgon executes the dude who authorized the attack. It's a cool scene. Laura and Gabby track Daken back to Hand HQ and are about to perform surgery, which leads us into issue 30. Turns out the guy who put the O of X together is old Henry Sutter, son of Martin Sutter, X-23's creator. So back in the day, she was ordered to go kill Martin and his wife and kid. Took care of them first 2, couldn't quite pop the claws on the kid though. I don't know about this ending. It kind of awakens Laura, I don't know, to all the murder and bloodshed that she's been a part of, her and her whole family, I guess. And we get a big speech from her about her own past and where she came from, how she was brought into the world, a victim of violence, basically like everybody else in the O of X, used, manipulated, all that. And then she herself dons an O of X mask, which is badass. I love the mask, and then calls herself a member. I don't know, man. I like the O of X's villains, and they just, I guess, come to a fucking understanding. I mean, that's the end of this issue. They just work out the differences. Come on. I mean, we've all been on the receiving end of intense violence, so I guess bygones can be bygones, I guess. Man, I hope this is not the last that we see of them, though. I'm sure it won't be. O of X, good addition. Don't know about this ending. Old Man Logan number 33 and also 34. All right, so the Scarlet Samurai arc continues with a newly revealed Mariko standing over Logan's body, about to run his ass through with her blue light katana. But she recognizes him just before she's about to strike and hesitates, giving OML enough time to get away. Oh boy. So, you can kind of predict what happens from here. Gorgon's all pissed at Mariko because she didn't kill Logan and blah, blah. I mean, it's okay. Silver Samurai catches up with Logan, and we find out that Regenix ain't stable and breaks down over time, destroying whoever has taken it. So issue 33 wraps up with Mariko about to yet again deliver the killing blow to Logan when Silver Samurai takes her down with a very convenient hand spell breaking magic plot device fucking horseshit that apparently totally frees her from Gorgon's control. That's a nice thing to have in the utility belt, I guess. I was really kind of hoping he killed her. 34 picks up with a nice little backstory about the rivalry between the Hand and Clan Yashida. Basically, two jackasses fighting over a scrap of land for like fucking couple hundred years. And then we're right back to Logan and Mariko, now teamed up to stop the Hand and Regenix, I guess. They find some Regenix junkie who leads them back to Gorgon and the Hand and their whole supply of Regenix. Big time fucking battle, which ends with an exhausted Logan collapsed on the ground and Mariko standing over the unconscious body of Gorgon. I do like seeing Logan actually get tired. A vulnerable Wolverine is more interesting than the invulnerable one. So still not digging on this Mariko thing though, if you can't fucking tell. It just feels like, I don't know, man. It just feels like what happens in comics when they fucking run out of ideas. Like, oh, okay, well, Lois Lane is a superhero. And how about fucking Jimmy Olsen is a superhero? And how about fucking Pepper Potts is a goddamn superhero? Like, just everybody just sucks. I don't like it. Whatever. I think the next issue might be the last issue of this arc. And then we'll see where we go from there. Cable number 153. That's Cable number 153. So we found out in the last issue, Gideon is the one who has been killing all the externals. And I like how this one starts off with the skeletal remains of Gideon, I guess, regenerating just enough to resurrect his ass in the year 5000. What the fuck ever. Earth hasn't apparently done all that well, as there's no one around except for his robo assistant Eve. And some weird fucking red, I don't know what they are. So they come upon the ruins of the X Mansion and find Cable's arm stuffed in a locker for some reason, which Gideon uses to travel back in time and kill externals, apparently. Cable and company commence the fighting with Gideon's robot and telepath army, and Gideon ditches out on them, blowing up the whole fucking place on the way out. Armor has this like pretty Omega level moment as she protects the entire team with her armor and punches their fucking way out of the rubble. Good work, Armor. We see a fight between Gideon and Selene, and yet another external decides that life is bullshit, betrays Selene and the other externals because he wants Gideon to kill him. So Selene manages to get away as she has Blink port them out, but now it looks like Gideon and Selene are the only two externals left, other than Absalom, who's the guy who just betrayed her. So Gideon would kill him, which he refuses to do till he gets his prize. So the fucking Highlander plotline continues. Selene shows up with Blink at the end of this issue and tells Cable, they're ready to help Cable as long as they're fucking gonna kill Gideon. So it's still an entertaining arc overall. Probably be a little more entertaining if I knew more about the externals. But I am still having fun with this one. Good God, man. So January brought us two other mini-series as well. Rogue and Gambit in one, and then Legion in the other. So first up, Rogue and Gambit. And this is fucking great. I love the premise for this one. So apparently Cerebra is tracking mutants that are blinking out of existence near this private retreat that offers to free mutants from their trauma. And so Kitty needs a romantically involved couple to investigate. So, of course, even though Rogue and Gambit are on the outs, I mean, there's obviously still some fucking fire there. And of course, Rogue protests and Gambit is just immediately on board because fucking great. Probably, I don't know. I mean, for me, for lots of us, right? One of the greatest ex-couple in history. And this is a fucking perfect excuse to put them together so they can argue and flirt and hurt each other and regret it. And it's great shit. They're stuck in the same room. They meet some other bizarre mutant couple who are way too fucking happy to be there. I love it. And you gotta love Gambit, right? He doesn't give up. And Rogue's line, I wasn't gonna say I didn't kiss Deadpool. I made out with him. Right? Fuck you, Cajun. What a great line. Harsh. Really fun first issue. Goddamn, I definitely recommend this one for all Rogue and Gambit fans and for human beings in general. Just go get this book. This was a really fun first issue, and I'm excited to see how this mini plays out. Legion number 1. So Peter Milligan is writing this one, which is great. Not sure how I feel about this first issue. I can never really tell if we're in Legion's head or the real world or what, but it seems like he's fighting one of his personalities, a Joe Fury. Legion's kind of making his way to New York to see this Dr. Hannah Jones, who is a celebrity therapist of some kind, and Fury basically starts messing with her, I guess trying to drive her insane with these hallucinations. And there's a part where she's eaten by her own couch toward the end when Legion shows up, pulls her out, and tells her he needs his help. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Like, it's an okay first issue. I guess I'm intrigued enough, but not a lot of meat really on this one either. But, at the same time, I like Milligan. I love Dick Statics. So I've got faith. We'll hang back. We'll see where this one goes. My God, that's probably too many X books, right? What the shit? I love X books, but all things in moderation. Come on. Anyway, holy hell, that's it for this episode. February, I'm sure, will inevitably be a lighter month. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.